When you think of the long and gloomy history of men, you will find far more hideous crimes have been committed in the name of obedience than have ever been committed in the name of rebellion. I used to think adults grow out of needing someone to tell them what to do. But life has a funny way of proving that wrong. This may be a surprise, but a lot of people don't want freedom. They want someone to hand them a ready-made worldview they can copy so they don't have to build one. Someone who sounds confident enough so they don't have to deal with the stress of thinking for themselves. And what's wild is how quiet it happens. People repeat someone else's ideas so much you can practically hear the leader speaking through them. They start repeating someone else's ideas, someone else's opinions, someone else's personality, until they're basically a copy of whoever they follow. I just think a lot of people are giving up their identity way too easy. Charismatic leaders. Most of the people who end up with big followings aren't experts, they're charismatic. They speak in steady voice, they don't hesitate, they act like they got everything figured out. And people treat their confidence as proof. A charismatic leader could say water is wet, and people would act like it was revelation. Confidence becomes mistaken for intelligence. And charismatic leaders know this. They know people follow tone, not truth. Success gets treated like wisdom, especially financial success. A lot of people treat wealth like it's evidence for intelligence. The logic is simple. If you won the game, you must understand it better than everyone else. But money doesn't prove wisdom, it proves outcome. And outcomes can come from timing, luck, leverage, or being born in the right environment. And yet, people still treat wealthy figures like they are experts in everything. People act like money comes with a PhD in knowing everything. And that's the thing about influence. Wealth and charisma both creates the illusion of wisdom. Once someone looks successful and sounds certain, some people start elevating them, almost to the point of worship. And this isn't new. Machiavelli talked about this 500 years ago. He basically said, if a leader can make people feel safe or inspired, they can control them, even if what they are saying isn't true. And here's the part people don't like hearing. Leaders who attract blind loyalty usually don't respect their followers. They use them, but they don't value them. From the leader's perspective, if you never question them, you're not an equal. You're disposable. That part hasn't changed in 500 years. Most people don't hand over their minds on purpose. They're stressed, they're overwhelmed, life feels complicated. So the moment someone shows up sounding certain, a lot of people relax. They follow the confident voice because it's easier than figuring things out for themselves. But that comfort comes with a cost. Your judgment gets weaker every time you rely on someone else to do the thinking. How you know you're starting to follow blindly? Here is how you can tell something's slipping. You defend even when you're not sure they're right. You repeat their opinions without really thinking about them. You get emotional when someone criticizes them. You trust their tone more than your own judgment and reasoning. And if that hits you, you're not thinking, you're echoing. And the leader you're defending probably wouldn't even respect you for it. Why you shouldn't hand over your identity? A strong leader isn't the problem, blind loyalty is. There's nothing wrong with learning from people. But when someone becomes the source of all your ideas, you stop being yourself. And no leader, not a politician, not an influencer, not a motivational personality is worth losing your identity for. The moment you stop questioning them, you hand them the key to your mind. And trust me, they won't give them back. Look, I'm not telling you to distrust everyone. I'm saying don't hand your whole identity to someone who wouldn't respect you if you disagree with them. If you admire someone, cool. If they inspire you, great. Just make sure you're not turning yourself into their clone. Because once you lose your ability to question, you stop being a person and start being a follower. And Machiavelli had a point. Followers who can't think for themselves are forgettable. So be someone worth respecting, not someone easy to control. And don't take this too seriously either. I'm just a guy on a motorcycle thinking out loud. Bees do exactly what they feel like doing. And it turns out that what they feel like doing is exactly what needed to be done.